Hey, what's up, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer55551, and I am back with a video game review. And for this one, we're going to be taking a look at Sonic Forces for the Nintendo Switch, also available on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC as well. Sonic, as far as I know, has had a pretty rough years when it comes to his video games as a video game character, though. From his heydays back in the 90s and 80s and his 2D running, though, his 3D adventures, shall we say, has been mixed at best, with games that are considered to be just like downright awful, like say the Sonic 06, for example, to 2014 Sonic Boom Rise of the Lyrics, to Shadow the Hedgehog, to Sonic and the Secret Rings, and the Black Knight. So there have been, unfortunately, has earned the reputation of known as the Sonic cycle, where they announce a new Sonic game, it sounds too good to be true, and then it ends up being, well, bad though. However, there are some occasions when that cycle is usually broken, and we do get actually a good, or at least a good 3D Sonic game though. Personally, I thought Sonic Heroes 2004 release on the GameCube, PlayStation 2, and Xbox was actually pretty good. It wasn't perfect, camera is still somewhat of an issue, but it was definitely one of the better 3D Sonic games at that time. Sonic Unleashed was a sort of a hit and miss. It wasn't a bad game. I mean, the regular levels and the daytime levels were good. The nighttime levels where he turned into a werewolf, though, was sort of mixed at best. It wasn't terrible or bad, but it certainly wasn't going to give games like God of War or Devil May Cry a run for its money as well. Plus, one of the characters, Chip, was just downright annoying, though. Let's be clear, he's annoying. He was annoying, though. I didn't get the chance to play Sonic Generations, unfortunately. I should have tried that one out, though. But Sonic Colors still remains one of my favorite ones, though. I like the idea how it combined a bit of did the 3D bit better and the 2D levels perfectly. Plus, I did like the idea of the wasp system, so I thought that was kind of neat. Sonic Lost World, again, not bad, but not as good as Colors were, although it did have some interesting ideas, though. So, with the announcement of Sonic Forces, the game, many people are wondering, is this another game that is part of the Sonic cycle, though? And recently, with the reviews coming out of it, people have really sort of hated on the game, though. Well, I played Sonic Forces, including the Switch version, for the last 2 weeks, and I will have to say, I really don't hate the game. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying it's going to dethrone Sonic Mania, for that matter, which I did a review on. I'll have a link in the description, though. But I will say, as far as the 3D Sonic games goes, to me, it's good. It's good. So why don't we get started with the pros and the cons? We'll get my notes, and we'll start first with the pros. The first one I do want to point out is that the gameplay does feel a little bit similar to Sonic Colors, which is a good thing, where you have certain areas that basically is 3D, in which the camera for the most part stays behind Sonic, which isn't necessarily bad in any way. And then you have it switch to the 2D part, though, where you move Sonic around, which is definitely probably the best part, although the 3D one isn't bad. So it follows a similar route to Sonic Colors, which is very nice. Also, it's worth pointing out, though, despite the fact that you have other characters in the game, the only 3 characters you control are basically Modern Sonic, Classic Sonic, and your avatar character, which your avatar character, controlling the avatar character isn't bad as well either, though. The next one I do want to point out is that the story surprisingly isn't that bad. It's also kind of a bit dark, much darker than, say, like past Sonic games, though. But overall, I have to say the story, I mean, it's not going to win any awards or anything, but the stories, to me, it was certainly alright. And last but not least, the music and the sound, though. Music was definitely good as well. I mean, there were some cases where I heard some of the music that sounded like I was listening to Linkin Park, for example. And the sound and the voice acting were alright, though, okay? Again, nothing special, but nothing hugely terrible, though. So, overall, I mean, music and sound were just fine, though. Alright, we're going to take a bit of a break, and when we come back, we're going to get to the cons of what I don't like about, or what I have some issues with Sonic Forces, though. So, take a bit of a break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with the second part of our review of, if I can get it back again, Sonic Forces for the Nintendo Switch, also available on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So now that we gave you the pros, why don't we get started with the cons? And as far as the cons go, there are about only 3, just like there were with the pros, though. So we'll start with the first one, and that is the 3D levels, though. Now, I said before that the 3D levels are, I felt like they were like in Sonic Colors, though. They were good. They were not perfect, but they were good. And this one still stays that way. However, there are times where the 3D levels are hard to navigate. In some cases, there were some cases where, like, when you're going down, like, say, like a waterfall slide, it was a little bit hard to navigate your character there. And there are times if you want to, like, turn your character around, like maybe you missed something, the camera only stays in one direction. You can't really rotate the camera or anything like that. That's been sort of a big issue with a lot of the 3D Sonic games, is the camera, though. And while the camera in Sonic Forces is certainly better than past Sonic games, it's not perfect. And there are times when it's a little bit difficult to navigate your character in a 3D environment, though. The next one I will say is that is basically some of the in-game items you get in the game. Outside of some of the weapons you get for your avatar, which can be used for like doing certain things in certain situations, though, most of the items you get are pretty much just cosmetics, though. Just, you know, put like another hat or like another or a backpack or something like that. I mean, they're nice, but they're nothing really special. The wasp weapons, however, are the only really thing that basically, some of them will do a certain thing, while another thing will do a certain thing. So they're different kinds, and you can earn those depending on how well you get at the end of the level, like a certain gray. I think if you get like an S rank, though, you might be able to unlock more weapons and all that stuff. But outside of the wasp weapons, if I'm saying them correctly, though, the rest of the stuff are just clothes for your avatar. There isn't really anything important or anything much about it, though, at least for me, though. And last but not least, and this applies to the Nintendo Switch version, though, is that the game Switch version, regardless of whether you're playing this game docked or undocked, it will run at 720p 30 frames per second. This is different than compared to what the PS4 or the Xbox One or even PC version will run, which will be 1080p 60 frames per second. Is it terrible or anything? Not really. Based on my time with it, it isn't terrible, though, but it's not the best looking version, and that version may not appeal to everybody, though. Overall, I'll be honest with you, Sonic Forces is, let's see right here, Sonic Forces is not going to dethrone, say, Mario Odyssey, and I certainly do not see this game. I certainly think if you look between this one and Sonic Mania that came out earlier this year, I would say Sonic Mania probably is the better game. That said, though, I will say as far as a 3D Sonic game goes, I will say it's one of the better 3D Sonic games out there, though. I think while I don't think it dethrones, say, Sonic Colors, which I still hold with high regards as probably one of the best 3D Sonic game I've played, though, it gets close, though. It does, though. I mean, it follows some of the stuff that Sonic Colors did, which isn't necessarily bad, but it still has some stuff lingering around, such as, you know, moving your character in the camera angle sometimes not being in that position you want to be in a 3D environment, though. I do also want to point out, though, that I know a lot of people like to hate on Sonic Forces right now. It's like the most popular thing to do at this moment, but the thing is, I just can't get myself to hate this game. I just don't think it's as awful as a lot of people say it is. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying it's the best Sonic game out there, though, but I feel like as a 3D Sonic game, it's one of the good 3D Sonic games. Not the best, but one of the good ones though. So for me, I don't think it's a terrible game, but it's not going to be for everyone, and the Switch version may not be for everyone, especially considering that this is running at 720p, 30 frames per second, and that might be a turnoff for some people. But overall, as far as the 3D Sonic games goes, I think Sonic Forces is probably one of the good ones out there, though. At least that's how I see it, though. Okay, this concludes this video review of Sonic Forces for the Nintendo Switch. And again, these are my opinions, but what are yours? What are your thoughts about Sonic Forces? Have you picked up the game? Which version did you pick up? Did you pick up the PS4, the Xbox One, the PC, or the Nintendo Switch, like the one I did a review on, though? Do you think the game is as bad as it is, or do you think people are kind of blowing it out of proportion? Do you agree with my review? Do you disagree with my review? Do you have a different take or a different opinion? As always, sound off on the comment section below. Let me know what you think. I would appreciate, and also hit that like button if you want to. I would appreciate it, and I do hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to, and feel free to donate to my channel if you like. It can either be through PayPal me or through Patreon. Links will be in the description, and if you want to check out some gameplay footage of Sonic Forces, or at least the Switch version though, again, links will also be in the description as well. And I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that'll be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good day then. Bye!